episode of Straight Up No Bullshit. We are so glad you're here. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Uh, our live stream is good. It looks like it's clicking on here. We should be 3, 2, 1 live on all of our. We should be going streaming on Rumble, X, YouTube, as well as here on Riverside. So glad you're here. And Don, Sal, welcome to the show, my friends.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Excellent, excellent. So let's, with Thanksgiving being here, let's just everyone go around the table. What's one thing that you were thankful for in our lives right now, besides Trump winning the election?
I'm thankful for health, right? Health, mental, physical, spiritual health. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for two things: presidential pardon ability and Tums. How's that?
All right.
I love your humor. I love
any special flavor Tums?
Oh, the smoothies, of course. They're like candy.
Yeah, I like those.
You know what's better than Tums? Apple cider vinegar. Take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That will actually solve the problem, not just cover up the acid. So
I think we need to do a whole show on what's the best antacid, like the top 7. Don't ask me why I picked 7.
It's actually an oxymoron, and we'll talk about this. Let's not get sidetracked too much. But when your stomach is acidy, it's not that you have too much acid; it's that you don't have enough acid. That's why apple cider vinegar will actually solve the problem, because you're putting more acid in your stomach is what you need.
I'm going to write that down right now.
Right there, you go. So what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for a lot of things. One of the main things, obviously, is for my health. Knock on wood. We're going on 2.5 years of past my surgery and all the craziness that went on, and I'm also grateful that I have a pressure cooker that's big enough to cook a 17-pound turkey. So when I was a kid, I went to a party at my grandmother's house in New Mexico, in Albuquerque. And it was some fancy big house on the hill, guy probably a gajillionaire or whatever. And they served turkey, and it was the most delicious fucking turkey I'd ever had in my life. And I asked, I just went up. I mean, I must have been 8 or 9 years old. I went up and asked, I said, how did you make this turkey? It's the most amazing turkey. And they told me they cooked it in a pressure cooker. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, one day I'm going to get a pressure cooker that can cook a turkey. And so I did this a few years ago, and I just did it for my a girlfriend's family, and they all loved it. The white meat was as juicy as most people's dark meat. That's
you
how
said
awesome
17 pound.
So this was about 16 pounds.
Wow.
A turkey, but I've cooked as big of a 17-pound, start to finish, less than 2 hours.
That's a pretty big pressure cooker.
It is a pressure cooker. I'll you know what? When we're talking here, maybe I'll go and pull it out. I haven't stored it yet, so I can show it to everybody. But enough of our banter here. We're so glad you're here. If you're watching live, please feel free to comment in the chat, whether you're chatting on right here on Riverside, or if you're chatting, want to put a chat in Rumble on our live stream there, or on YouTube or X. We will get the chats. I got the chats open here. So we would love to have you share your comments, your questions, your thoughts, and even some lively banter, or what you're thankful for Thanksgiving, and anything in between. So we appreciate you here. But you know what? It's been a busy week. This last week we had Mark Zuckerberg meeting Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and to talk about fucking awesome, because not only has he been speaking out and doing the different things that he's done, if you think about it, when would have been a safe play for him to write that letter about, the fact that, they were told to suppress information and so forth? It would have been after the election, but no, he did it months ago. And I think because some people stipulate that because he realized the mistake he's made, but also he's getting into MMA. He's been fighting, and you're getting your testosterone going, and you're being strong, and you get around those people that are like-minded and just strong-willed and have grit. And I think he's coming around. So I think we may see not only X being, my prediction, in about 6 months or so, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, we're going to see free speech on Facebook as much as we have on X. That's my prediction on that. What do you guys think?
I like your optimism, Marcus. Although I'm the straight up no bullshit. I tell it straight up like I see it, right? And I don't like the guys that like to Oh, well, this one looks a little bit better, on this side of the fence. I'm going to jump on this side of the fence. When it looks better, I'm going to jump on back on the other side of the fence. I don't trust those kinds of people. Okay. So
Sure, I get
as
it.
great as it sounds, this guy's getting on board with Trump. It's not just that. He's been handsomely paid to suppress information using his social
This is
media
true.
platform. He's a criminal. Okay. So he's trying to backtrack. He's trying to like say, hey, you know what? I'm on your side. I'm going to be truthful. Well, you don't really have a lot of choice because you are in the wrong. You have been in the wrong, and you've been. I mean, we're not making billions of dollars. All right, we're a bunch of slip rocks trying to put together a little show here. This guy's making billions of dollars. Now he's going to jump on the other side of the fence, and oh yeah, look, I'm here with you guys. Well, yeah, if Trump didn't win this thing in a landslide, are you kidding me? That guy wouldn't be talking to Trump.
Maybe
He'd be
not.
like, put him in jail.
Well, you know what though? Okay, and I agree with you. There's a part of me that says that I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, I also believe in redemption, and I believe that people can change their worldview based on new information, new facts. Heck, Trump was a Democrat for the longest time. Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, Dave Rubin. I mean, we can list it. Go on.
It doesn't mean that
So,
they were criminals, though. It just means they were Democratic politicians.
true. No, you're true. You're right. And he did break the law. And I would love for him to see. I would love for him to do some kind of a gesture that would start to make amends for that.
I wouldn't want anything to do with Facebook. I wouldn't want anything to do with anything that guy's got anything to do with,
Okay,
because
that's cool.
it's just my opinion. I'm
Yeah,
not
no, it's good.
I'm not debunking what you're saying, but I don't like the fair weather fan player.
No,
Although
I get it, but if that was the case, we'd have CNN, NBC, and all these. They're all becoming fair weather. They're not. They're doubling down and with their bullshit and stuff. So I think when you make it public and try to make amends, I think people deserve a second chance. So that's what I'm saying. I let Sal. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I kind of agree with both of you. I don't like the idea that he's flip-flopping, but I also see your point, Marcus, that if you don't learn something, or you got to learn something to change your point of view. So I understand that, but like Don said, he made a ton of money
He did.
doing what the
You're right.
Democrats wanted to do, and now
You're
when
right.
it's convenient for him, he goes to the other side to try to save face. He also might be looking to get a little help because he's constantly under scrutiny, like he was called into Congress over the summer
That's
for
true.
not making his platforms that safe. So there just might be a hidden agenda behind his actions. It's
Okay.
just too early to tell.
It is too
I
early
think.
to tell. You're right. You're absolutely right. All of that is a possibility. But I'm going to be optimistic about it because that's just me. I'm the eternal optimist. So.
I got to tell you, Sal, that was very well said. I mean,
Thank
I'm very pessimistic and a wishy-washy people. The people that flip-flop. Now I'm your friend. Now I'm not your friend. All this bullshit. I don't like it. Right? Either you're straight or you're not. Okay.
Right.
I don't believe that that a leopard changes its colors. Okay. I believe it's the same animal and it's the same beast. So. But then again, I do agree with you, Marcus, where people can make amends. I mean, I was a lunatic when I was younger. Okay, I'm a pretty mellow guy now. Pretty mellow guy.
He's real mellow.
Well, you know what I'm saying compared to what I used to be.
Mellower.
But I'm all about truth. I'm all about helping people. I'm all about the right things. I want people to get better. I want things, circumstances, country, everything. I want things to get better for people. That's what I truly want, where that maybe wasn't my mantra years ago. So I do agree that people can change, but not in 6 weeks of an election. Oh yeah, he won, so now I'm on his side.
No, let's hold on. It wasn't 6 weeks.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, he put those letters out to like mid-July. So I mean, I bet you his board. Can you imagine most of the people on his board? They're fucking lefties beyond measure. Can you imagine that board, what they were saying to him, and he still put the letter out there? So I got to give guy balls and kudos for doing it. That's all.
Okay.
So, but let's move on. To the next thing.
Do it.
President Trudeau comes from Canada and meets Trump in Mar-a-Lago. I mean, what is that all about? I think basically what happened is that, Trump basically had a phone call with him and said, hey, we need to change some shit and you need to get in the program or you're done. And what happens when through strength.
It's
I
the
mean, there,
tariffs.
yes,
That's what
tariffs,
got them.
absolutely. But that's a negotiating point. Everyone's so afraid of, oh my God, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Money's things are going to get expensive. No, they're not. These are negotiating tactics and tools to make the not only America great again, but I think make the world a better place as well.
And
Well,
bringing jobs to the states.
Absolutely, it is.
right. At the end of the day, okay, it's everyone's got to make money, right? You can't take
Yep.
advantage of people, sweatshops, right? You can't take advantage of people, and then you can't ship products from different areas just so you can handsomely, make your wallet thicker. Okay. Now it's fine. I'm all about people making money, but like Sal says, it's bringing jobs to America. Now I don't know how good manufacturing is going to be here in America because the people here really don't know how to do it anymore. Where we used to manufacture everything. So it's a kind of a catch-22. We're going to miss some of the stuff that they do make, and they make it well, but they're going to have to pay to play. So they want to sell their products here. They got to pay. Instead of thickening up their pockets, they're going to make the same amount of money that they would normally make. They're not going to get handsomely overly paid by giving us crappy products at a lower price,
That's true. That is true. That's
Well,
true.
he's keeping U.S. Steel here. He said that's a priority for Trump. He's going to block that move that China's going to buy U.S. Steel.
Oh, fuck no. Absolutely
He said
not.
no,
You
it's
know
not
what?
going to happen. So he's going
If
to
you look,
block that as well.
if you look at the steel industry back in from the 40s, 50s, 60s, we were like out of the top 20, we were like 18, top of 18. Now we're like we're not even the bottom. Most of them are in China, and I think there's some India as well. So they're going to bring steel back again because I mean that was a huge industry at the Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean that whole industry.
Hey,
They're looking to bring that back. So I want to do a shout out. We have Rick from I think he used to be from Indiana. I'm not sure if he's in Indiana anymore. He said to say hello. He says hello to us on chat. Welcome to the show. We're glad you're
Hey,
here.
Rick.
We got some people on Twitch and we got some people streaming on YouTube, which is awesome. Glad to see everybody chime in. Please put in your questions and your comments and your thoughts, your suggestions. We'd love to hear you on that. And
my Steelers are 9-3. Just thought I'd slip that in.
there you
real
go.
quick.
There you go. How about it? Hey, I'm obviously been from Chicago and been a Bears fan. I'm a fan of all things. But you know what? My daughter moving to Wisconsin, I have to say she's now a Green Bay Packers fan. So
Well, that's okay.
But hey, you know what? The way the Bears been playing, I don't blame anybody for taking off. Oh my God, that's
Did
unbelievable.
they hire the new coach from Notre Dame or whatever? I think I heard.
I didn't hear any.
I have no
hear
idea.
details on it. No. So, but anything's better than the guy. They should have fired the guy the minute he walked off the field. It's just crazy what they're doing. But anyway, you know what? You live and you learn, and hopefully you betterment and you pivot and you move on. So let's talk about Kash getting appointed as director of the FBI to clean up the FBI. What an awesome appointment that is.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are worried. A lot
course
of
they
people
are.
are afraid of this guy just based on his interviews that I've watched from before.
Right.
It looks like he's gonna clean up some things. So
Well,
I
he
hope.
knows what's going on. All right. I'm not as connected with the news like you guys are, but I did see a couple of interviews from that guy, and he's got the inside scoop on what's going on. He knows what's up, what's down, who's bad and who's good. So you're right. These people are shitting in their pants, and I think people throughout not just politics but these different industries, whether it's social medias, whether it's the media, it doesn't matter what it is. Any of these people that were pushing agendas, pushing COVID shots, all this stuff it's really going to come to fruition where people are going to have to pay the piper. Okay, you can't just push people around and make them do things and take advantage of them and lie to them. And I think they're all really scared. They're shitting in their pants. That's my opinion, though.
Well, they are. If you think about it, the director of the FBI has the Epstein list.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
that's right. He did say that.
I have a feeling there are high people in government as right now that heads are going to roll when that list comes out, and it's coming out.
Yeah, he said that. He said that he gave a reasoning of why it wasn't released. He said, but that's one thing he's going to do is release that list. I can't wait to see it and hear about it.
I know, me too. It's going to be powerful, and the PDD list as well. I think we're going to see some serious cleaning up happening, and it's about damn time. It's about
Yeah.
damn fucking time is what I'm gonna say, because you know what? Um, we've been living in a cesspool for way too long, in more
Did
ways than
you,
one.
Marcus, did you happen to catch the text that Don sent out last night of Trump's tweet?
You know what? I probably glanced over it. Go ahead and read it out.
Don, you want to take it? Because he's probably going to look it up. But he texted me that yesterday, and this is pertaining to Hamas and Israel. And I did see a couple reports on it this morning, as well. But to be honest, Don was the one who broke the news to me first. So
Yeah,
kudos
let's
to
bring
him.
it up.
I don't know how, because I don't watch the news, but I get a lot of people around the country that send me information. So everyone is talking about hostages who are being held so violently, inhumanely, and
Oh, yeah.
against the will of the entire world in the Middle East. But it's all talk and no action. Please let this truth serve to represent that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20th, 2025, the date I proudly assume office as President of the United States of America, there will be all hell to pay, all caps, in the Middle East. And those in charge who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity, those responsible will be hit harder than anyone has ever been hit in a long time and storied history of the United States of America. Release the hostages now, all caps.
Yeah,
Love it.
I
Yeah.
love it. You know, it's funny you say that, because I was watching the documentary on Reagan actually 2 nights ago. It was one of those things where I'm like, I caught my eye on. I'm like, I'm going to watch this, and you know, I mean, think about how the hostages were literally released within hours of him getting inaugurated. I mean, how freaking awesome is that? There's a lot of similarities to Reagan's presidency and what we're seeing with Trump in a lot of ways.
Well, it's a show of strength. It's a show of strength. Now, people, whether they want to recognize it or not, you cannot not recognize strength, okay? And you cannot not recognize weakness. Now, obviously, people can be hypnotized or brainwashed or whatever to think whatever, but I just got through playing hockey, and it reminds me of hockey, okay? If there's somebody on the ice that represents strength, okay, he does not go unnoticed. I will tell you that in a second, okay? Does not go on. If there's a weakness, that does not go unnoticed. They will take advantage of the weakness. It's no different than a hockey game, okay? It's very apparent, but when it's so apparent that it really straightens people up and makes them clear their throats, it's really interesting, because all of a sudden people are on their best freaking behavior.
Yeah, quote my buddy Rob Finity. He always says strength through Trump.
Yeah.
So, and I agree.
Mhm.
It's a good analogy, Don. You're right. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
So I thought that tweet was pretty good, sending a message out there. for
Absolutely,
sure.
it is. I mean, all the communication they've been putting out there has been amazing. And you know, it was interesting. I was having a conversation with some patriots and good friends. Actually, Kevin Purcell was one of them, one of our guests here, and our friendsgiving we had on Saturday night. And an interesting concept kind of came out, and I just wanted to see what you guys thought of this. The whole Matt Gaetz thing. Um, I don't think that he was ever planning on looking for attorney general, and I'll tell you why. Matt Gaetz, you know, they're you know, very controversial and all these things. I think what they did was they came out there, put it out there to make those 4 or 5 rhinos that are causing problems to step up and shine themselves. And as soon as they found out who it is, he's like, "Up, I'm out." And you know, Bondi got in there, which I think was, I think should be a better pick anyway for that position. And I think that was the plan all along, was to weed out the corruption and the bullshit that's out there. What do you think?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a valid opinion. I'll tell you that. It could be. I don't know much about Pam, but she seems like she's really good. She's pretty tough.
Yeah. I'd like to
So
see everything I've seen so far. I really like it a lot.
I
think she's
didn't
gonna
think
be
Matt
rock
would
solid.
get through anyways. I
Oh,
really
without a
didn't.
doubt. And I think Matt might be
Yeah.
going for something else. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be interesting to see how things go. But it'll be. I just thought that was kind of intriguing, and I could definitely see that being part of Trump's playbook. You know, because I'm telling you, as much as these lefties are losing it and fucking trying to take him out 6 ways to Sunday, Trump and his team have seemed to be 4 steps ahead of them, almost at every step of the way.
Yeah, he
I,
does.
Yeah, and I know we got a bunch of people watching us live here, and love you share your comments. Tell us what you think. Do you think that was a valid observation, or do you think that what are your thoughts on it? We'd love to hear it.
Well,
We'll let
I'll be honest with you on what you're talking about right now. As far as you talk about them being very intelligent and smart. Okay,
right.
you talk about these people that are currently running the country that won't be for long, and you
Right.
look at these people. Okay, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but I don't really care. Combined IQ can't be above 100 with 100 of those people. I mean, those people, I don't know if they know that that way is down and that way is up. Now you got the people that are coming in. These people are beyond intelligent, okay? These people, like you say, they're 1,000 steps ahead of even a logical common sense person, okay?
Yep.
So there's no way that there's even a comparison, because these people that are going out, that are on their way out, well, they're criminals, but they've frosted up the lens so much that they're running rampant, and they're stupid, and it's been so obvious that they're not intelligent. And I purposely believe that these people were placed in these offices for the people to really run this country, because
Right.
if they had anyone with any intelligence, they wouldn't allow it. I mean, these people, they've taken advantage of these people. I just like a lot of the corporations. I know a lot of people are not going to like what I'm saying right now, but too bad. A lot of corporations, okay?
Yep.
When you go inside a lot of these corporations, the higher up you go, if you ever listen to any of these people talk, they're like, my boss is completely brain dead. I've heard this a million times, and I've talked to a lot of the bosses in a lot of corporate America jobs. And I honestly believe that they take the dumbest person, but they got to kiss ass and do what the people want above them in charge. And the higher up that they go, the dumber they get. And it's just the same thing in politics. In the Democratic ticket, they find the dumbest people that they could possibly put in, and they're not gonna question it. Like, yeah, we're gonna go blow up Russia. Oh yeah, let's nuke them. All right, yeah, that's great. Send Hunter some money. We're gonna pardon them. These people don't have a clue what the fuck's going on, and like you're trying to talk about the intelligence of the people coming in. These people are like the companies that they run, the like Elon Musk with what he did with Twitter and SpaceX and Tesla. I mean, he's 1,000 steps ahead of anybody that's even remotely successful.
Well, richest man in the world. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but
I
that's
mean,
just talking about him. I mean, all of these people, the Ramaswamy, Trump, these people are like unbelievable. In my opinion, they're superstars. These guys are truly superstars.
No, without a doubt. And Missy just commented. She says, "Absolutely, movers and shakers are coming into reign, respect and control of our beloved country. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Trump's a great businessman. And we learned in 16, who better to run a country than somebody who's a successful businessman? Now he just
Exactly.
happens to have one of the most successful businessmen beside him and the richest man in the world right there with him, who I guess has not left Mar-a-Lago since the election. And they talked to Trump about it. He says, I think I'm just going to adopt him. And they said, yeah. He goes, yeah. He goes, he never leaves. He
I
hasn't
love
left.
it. I
So
love it.
he's staying by him. And you know what? I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I'd want to hang out there too. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're mixing cocktails, I'm going over there for sure. I want to meet both of these guys.
Hey, Thanksgiving looked really nice in Mar-a-Lago the other
It
night.
sure
I'll tell you
did.
that.
It
Mhm.
sure
And who
did.
was sitting right next to Trump? His soon-to-be adopted son.
Yeah.
Oh
Elon
yeah.
was there, and his mom was there. What a great time!
Wow.
Speaking of sons, let's talk about the big story out here, which is the pardoning of Hunter Biden.
Oh, he's
I
just
mean,
misunderstood, Marcus.
oh come on, he's worked hard. He's overcome his drug addiction.
Yeah, he's not going to take this pardon lightly. Here's a guy that was making $80,000 a month. $80,000 a month. So I don't know, but you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up, because that could turn around. I don't know if you guys know some of the stuff with that pardon.
Oh, it can. He lost.
There's consequences with that pardon. I
Yep.
had said yesterday, I believe, that, you know, he pardoned his son. I've never heard of a pardon. I don't think anybody has that retro back 11 years.
No,
just
it's unheard
about.
of.
Which is, so it makes you think, what the heck do they know that Hunter was involved with
Right.
years ago? But I think it also was in a way of trying to pardon himself too, Biden, Joe, because anything that might come up. But what I learned, I think this morning, here's the catch though.
There is a catch.
There is a catch, and I think you know what I'm going to say.
Yep.
Because he accepted the presidential pardon, he can no longer take the Fifth Amendment.
Exactly right.
So come January 20th, if they decide to do an investigation, I think Comey is going to do an investigation into Joe Biden, and they call Hunter to testify, he
Yep.
can't take the Fifth. He has to answer. And if he lies, guess what? Perjury, and they'll charge him. And I'm pretty sure they will. So there is a downside to it for him taking this presidential pardon.
There is, because if he lies or
Yeah.
even mistruths, he's going to jail. That's
Well,
done.
You know, I don't know that much about presidential pardons, and we had talked about this, Sal, but you can pardon somebody for something that they've been convicted for. I don't believe you can pardon somebody for other crimes that they may have done, unless they put it into the verbiage somehow. And I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff that they got against this guy that where he could still go to jail. I don't think there's no doubt in my mind he could still go to jail. Will they bother with it? I don't know.
I think it's a blanket pardon. I think that'll cover anything from 14 on. Anything from yesterday on forward, he's not covered. But the blanket pardon will cover anything.
Okay.
That he has committed during that time. According to them, Don, I don't know this because I'm in the law. This is what they had said.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
It's a blanket pardon that he put out.
Well,
so
I had heard this, that supposedly that Hunter's come out and says, you know what, if I'm going to jail, I'm writing a tell-all book. I'm writing a book, and it's going to be a tell-all book. I'm not holding anything back. And Joe probably is backpedaling, going, whoa, how do we cover our asses on this? But I think we're going to see some heads roll. I really do. And good. It's about damn time, because this corruption, if we don't, some people are saying, oh, be easy on them and, move forward and focus on the positive. Absolutely. Yes, and yes. However, if you don't smash these guys and fucking bust them by their knees, the next time they even get close to having any kind of power, they're coming for blood. And therefore we absolutely need to make an example of them. And I'm telling you, hang a few of them from the rafters, like they did the pirates back in the day, because that's what they are. These are fucking pirates. And I guarantee you, they're going to think twice about doing this shit next time.
Yeah, I would think so. But I know my father had just texted me and said that it's possible they can go after Hunter for, civilly and for fraud, I guess. So that's always out there, I guess.
Well, go ahead.
No, it's just their fancy way they think they can cover their ass, and they don't know the Constitution the way that Vivek knows it, the way that Elon knows it, that Tulsi knows it, that Trump knows it.
They didn't go by the Constitution. It didn't exist when the Dems were in there.
It did, but they watered it down, and they didn't follow it. That's the problem. The Constitution never gone away.
They kept trying to rewrite it, though.
Yeah, they make their own things, and that's the great thing about the Supreme Court's ruling about getting rid of these agencies, is that they don't, they've basically been running, and I didn't know this. This goes all the way back to like Lyndon Johnson's time, and we're talking a long time when they put these in practice. It might have even gone further than that, where they decided that they were going to change the way the government was run, and that's where these agencies started popping up. Even the FBI does not have a mandate charter from Congress. And that's what's supposed to happen, is Congress is the one that makes laws, not these three-letter agencies. And so I think it's going to be very easy to go from the 400 plus agencies we got down to 100, which I think is what the goal is that I heard.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of those agencies, all the stuff that I've read, besides the obvious corruption that's gone on is the overreach. Their overreach has been ridiculous, and a lot of these agencies basically exist to keep a lot of the corporate um, connections and money flowing into politics. It's the only reason that they exist. Like, for instance, the FDA. Okay, the FDA, the only reason that they exist is so a lot of these manufacturers of the or food processors, they could put these chemicals into the foods that would save them money, or that would give it better flavor, whatever it did, but it was toxic to the people. The only reason that the only reason that the FDA exists is so these companies can thrive. It's not to keep us safe. And so once you start realizing that these agencies aren't here for us, you realize it's time to get out the chopping block and get rid of these assholes. And
Absolutely.
and you need people. If you're going to have something that's called the Food and Drug Administration, okay, it shouldn't be to so somebody a lobbyist can come in and pay you so Pfizer can put some more poison in your mom's goodie basket that she's got to take every morning. It should be like, well, this is poisonous, so we can't allow this. But that doesn't work, because that doesn't make like a company like Pfizer go back and say, here, we want to give you money because you pissed on our plan, right? We can no longer poison these people so we can make excessive money.
Yep, so much good's coming out of this with RFK.
Yes.
Especially with RFK being behind this this whole drive. It's going to be huge. I just heard from Dr. Peter McCullough, and I hope he's got good protection, because there are 5 studies now. 3 already published, 2 are in pre-publishing, that are showing that the vaccines that they gave out, it's not just doesn't work, just isn't toxic. It's a bioweapon.
Oh, absolutely. I've read so much data on this, and it kills your red blood cells.
It does.
And so the more of those shots that you take, the more red blood cells you're killing. So if you continue to take that, basically you wipe out your entire immune system. So, I mean, if you took it and you got bamboozled into it, okay, you know what? There's even ways that you can completely clear that out of your system, but you didn't totally destroy yourself. Okay. Right. But when you take these boosters and more and more and more boosters, and you keep going along with this program, you're absolutely right. It's a bioweapon. It's going to kill people. They're trying to get rid of population, whether you think so or not.
Bill Gates has had many symposiums about, population control, and he's so fucking wrong about this. We need more people on this planet to produce the things that we wanted to do. And I think Elon Musk is right on the money when it comes to that as well. But it's just interesting that, we're going to see some great things. Maybe we'll have Fruit Loops that are actually healthy for you instead of the crap that's out there now. Not that you should be eating Fruit Loops, but hey, we all have our vices, right?
In moderation. In moderation.
We got plenty of Fruit Loops out there.
That we do.
We were just talking about this earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, you didn't get my double mint joke in the beginning there. Maybe you did.
I was driving, Marcus. I don't catch sarcasm on text when I'm driving.
That's all right.
He was on the ice.
Well, Sal, I know you got a few things that you uncovered. Let's hear what you got to say.
Well, the other thing that I thought was interesting is that Kathy Hochul, now the governor of New York, has come out and said that if any of the migrants commit any crimes, she said, quote, I will be the first one to call ICE. So I'm kind of fascinated by her little change of events here.
Yes.
Now, I know there's been a turn of events with Mayor Adams with Trump, and stopping a lot of the, the freebies for these illegal aliens. But I was really surprised to see Kathy Hochul come out and say that. And I'm trying to think, why is she, like we talked about earlier, doing a flip-flop? So I don't understand. Does she see the writing on the wall? So I really don't know why she's doing this now, but she is making it known.
She's Hochul for Cocoa Puffs.
I don't know what her thing is, because she did not have this attitude months ago. But all of a sudden now she's kind of changing her tune too. So it seems like New York might be kind of falling in line a little bit. I'm not sure why, but I guess another time will tell. We'll see. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, some of these things are going to have to play out. There's no question about it. It's about playing out.
Well,
So,
well, that state's been trying to screw Trump's nuts to the wall. I mean,
yeah.
they better fall in line. I'm sure he's not very happy with them. All the shit that they've been pulling on him.
Well, it's not the New York people per se, though. I mean, but it's the leadership that's running that
Right.
state.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's asking for a full pardon on the New York. He wants all those cases dropped. I doubt Merchan's going to do that. I don't know, but that's what his team's going after. They want that taken care of. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. So that's one of the things.
Yeah,
I
Rick
had.
from and he's fresh from Louisiana. Was in Indiana, lives in Louisiana now. He put it in the comments there. He says he doesn't trust her. Said don't trust her. So
Yeah, Rick. You know what? I think you're right. I don't really trust her either. There might be a hidden agenda there, but for her to come out and say that alienates her from her base a little bit. So she is taking a chance. But like Rick said, I agree with you. I don't trust her either, and I don't trust Adams either. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Especially coming from New York.
Flip floppers. I know you guys think that, that they can change their ways, but flip floppers, I've never trusted those types of people.
Right.
Whatever's the best path for them is the one they're going to take. They're on your side when they need you. They're against you when they don't. I don't trust those people.
Right.
And like Marcus had said earlier, I got one more point that I seen that I thought was interesting today. New Jersey council meeting. Edison, I think, the council meeting in New Jersey.
Okay.
They had one of the gentlemen get up and speak, and he brought in an American flag because they made a thing that the American flag, none of this stuff can be in there. They escorted him out and they told him that violates the rule of the meetings for no props. So now the American flag is considered a prop, and you can't have it in the meetings. So getting back to what you said, Marcus, is that some people are doubling down. Some people are kind of changing their ways, but other people, other entities are doubling down. You can't even bring the American flag into this council meeting because they say it's a prop, which I think is just ridiculous.
So what's the meeting?
It's a council meeting in a town, Edison Township in New Jersey.
So they're anti-American.
Well, I would think the guy walked in with a little, one of them little sticks with the flag on there.
Yeah.
And he walked up to the podium to talk, and he had it with him. And they called the police to escort him out and told him he can't have props in there. It's against their rules.
Well, they should be deported too then, along with these other people.
I just think it's ridiculous that our own country's American flag is considered a prop in a meeting. Now, when I worked for villages and cities, every board meeting they had flags in the room.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Now, I didn't get to see a full view of this board meeting room, but I guess you can't bring now I'm wondering, can you have the lapel? Can you have a little pin? But he brought in the flag, and the police had to come and escort him out. And I guarantee you, those two policemen were shaking their heads thinking, I don't even know why we have to do this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, but you can let them burn down
That's
stores
right.
and kill each other. But God forbid you bring an American flag into a council meeting. I mean, What is wrong with people?
I don't know, but that's a great point. You could burn the flag. That's okay. But you can't bring the flag into a meeting. God forbid. That's a great point, Don. You're right.
I can't wait till we get the Pledge of Allegiance back in schools with the flag. And start getting people to be proud of being an American, proud of the Stars and Stripes, proud of our founding fathers and what they gave up for that we can have a free country.
Well,
people don't realize the complexity of what that Constitution really provides. And it all starts with, I pledge allegiance to the flag of these United States of America.
Of the prop.
Well, if to go along with what you're saying, probably 80% of my shirts, jackets, hats, everything, USA. I got stickers on my truck with the American flag. I got stickers on my hockey helmet. I got patches on my hockey jerseys that are American flag. Everything I got has American flag. I'm proud to be an American. Anybody that's not needs to get the fuck out of here.
Well, just don't go to the meeting in New
I'll
Jersey.
go to the fucking meeting. Fuck those people.
We should all show up with a flag. We'll just all march in like we're.
I'll wear American flag as my outfit. You know what I mean?
I hope you guys get to see the clip.
We had a fraternity brother who's a very much of a Trump supporter. He showed up at one of our golf outings with total black, American flag jacket and pants. He looked like what's the character you see always, Uncle Sam. It was a riot. It's just phenomenal. I love it. I love when people do that kind of shit.
But we have to get back to loving our country. We have to get back to loving being American. We have to get back to being proud
Yes.
to be an American, to live here.
Well,
Okay,
let's have
we
a
got
country that makes you proud. That's the
exactly. But it's hard to be proud when you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum destroying a place, and every hardworking American is going broke, and people don't know up from down because this wrong is right and right is wrong. How is it like this was the first time in my life that I was actually embarrassed to be an American. I was embarrassed to say that I was from the United States when I travel, because I'm like, you voted for those people? No, hell no. I don't think anybody voted for those people. Okay. Yeah. Those people weren't elected. They were installed like a toilet.
Yeah. All the dead people in the funeral,
exactly.
In the mass cemeteries, they're the ones that voted for him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what do you think about all these last minute votes that have come through in California for the House seats?
Is that the state where they said 21 ballots are missing, so they're going to have to do a new election? I can't remember what state that was.
Yeah, no. All I can say is that they're it's like they were Republicans were crushing it, and then all of a sudden, after 3 weeks of 2 weeks, 3 weeks of recounting these ballots, it flip flops by like 500 votes. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Well, it's no different than the 2020 election. We went to bed, Trump's winning. Right. Middle of the night, the idiots automatically won. Like, okay, yeah, I wonder what happened. Okay, right. And we have the best technology that we've ever had, right? You talk about these NVIDIA chips. You could do pretty much anything. Like everything is so technological. Well, if we're through voting at 7:00. By 8:00, without a doubt, we should have, if you want to give it till midnight, okay, great. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
5 hours, but we have technology, okay? We should have the votes. That window should close for the voting. We should have the votes within an hour. If you're waiting months, weeks, all you're doing is rigging it. It's so obvious.
I think I heard something on X today about, I'm just trying to look it up right now, that Trump is going to be putting a mandated voter registration IDs.
Yeah, well, he had talked about that, so I'm pretty sure he's going to do that. And he also is going to do, I think, one-day voting for a majority of people.
Absolutely.
Paper ballots, I believe.
I mean, if you're in the military and you're in Guam or wherever, that's a different story. But other than that, yes, absolutely.
Which I think is a great idea. I mean, he said he was going to do it, so I hope he does.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Rick put on there, unless it's a rainbow flag, with carrying the flags.
Then they would allow it.
Well, it's Minnesota. It's the Minnesota House race. Okay. And I just said that they have 20 to 21 ballots missing. They don't know what happened to them. I don't even know how they know 21 are missing.
21 ballots?
21. And the race is decided right now by 14 votes. Wow. So this will make an impact. So they're going to have to do a new election because there's no way to find out those 21 ballots, who they were, who they voted for.
How do they know the 21 ballots are missing?
That's a great question. I don't know that. That
was
a question I had.
It's all a bunch of crap.
But I think this would benefit the Republicans, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check that. But I had the same question you did. Like, how do they even know that 21 were missing? They say that they were likely thrown away. So it's Scott County in Minnesota.
Interesting. So now, all right, this just came through. This will be interesting to see if this is true. Mark Zuckerberg, the head of Meta, recently met with Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, expressing an interest in playing an active role in Trump's tech policies.
Oh, there we go.
This meeting marks a notable shift after previous tensions between Silicon Valley and the Trump administration. Zuckerberg's engagement follows comments from Meta executives indicating a desire to influence tech policy amidst the backdrop of varied public relations ranging from skepticism to support. If that's the case, fuck you. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Remember we were talking about earlier a hidden
Yep.
agenda? Well, there we go. That was just reported now.
It just came through, 5 hours ago. Breaking: Zuckerberg seeks role in Trump tech policy.
Now, I'm curious to know who brought that up at the meeting. Was it something that Trump brought up, or was it something that Zuckerberg introduced to him? I guess we'll never know, but
Yeah. Well, we might. I mean, there's going to be a lot more transparency, so maybe we will find out. We'll see. We'll see.
maybe he'll put him in charge of Truth Social, huh?
God.
Yeah, the new CEO of Trump Social or Truth Social. That would be good.
Trump's too smart, though. I don't understand how he would allow these people
Well,
in.
Trump is a negotiator, and if
Yeah.
there's something that he sees there again, and maybe there is true redemption there. I don't know, but I think that if he's doing it, there's got to be a reason for it. There's got
Yeah.
to be a reason for it that's going to help America. Maybe it's part of bridging people back together again. Maybe it's because let's face it, we do need that. We need to bring people back together again and get rid of this massive divide that started with Obama and is continued along the way. So, I think Trump's going to do it. I think people are going to start realizing when they can go to the grocery store and they're not getting poisoned, and the prices are coming down, and the economy's doing great, and there's no more illegal people coming across the border, and legal migrants raping children and women and all this kind of shit that's going on. I think when we start spotlighting that and start seeing that more and more, I think that's going to be a big thing. Because if you think about it, I think I've mentioned this maybe last week on this cost on this live stream. What's the one thing that all of these people, whether it's Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek, JD Vance, all of them have in common, besides being America first, is they all know how to communicate and get their point across. They are excellent communicators, and they understand how to get a message across to people, which therefore means that we're going to get play-by-play as things are changing. Because let's face it, we'd all love to wave a magic wand, and on January 20th, everything gets fixed and back to normal and going well. That's not reality. However, it's amazing what we can accomplish in 6 months. And that magic wand really will be the words that our leaders, some people call it, I think Jordan Peterson was the one they call it the X-Men, I think it's more like the Justice League, is we have this team of the Justice League, and they're going to come and they're going to communicate all the things that are going on over all these changes. And guess what? Everyone in the American people, at least the ones that are going to listen, are going to hear a play-by-play that's going to keep the optimism going, keeping people open-minded, going, wow, maybe Trump really isn't the fascist, Nazi, racist, pig that I thought he was.
They're
And maybe
probably
he
starting
really
to
is going
see
to change.
it. Yeah.
Maybe he's going to make a difference. And when they start seeing that, we're going to start seeing people coming together.
It's got to
Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
It's got to do with trust, right? We don't trust government. We don't trust any government agency. We don't trust anyone that's got anything to do with decisions that are made that are stowed upon us. And I think that we need to regain trust in our country, in the people that are serving as our leaders. We need to be able to trust, okay? And then it goes further beyond it. We need to start trusting other people.
Yeah.
But the thing is that just because somebody asks for your trust doesn't mean that you trust them, right? They have to gain that trust from you. And so many people have crossed the line so far and so hard, and for the money, and that's basically what it's been about, is for the money, that can you really ever trust them? The only time you're going to be able to trust them is when they're down and out and they're going to need you. When they don't need you, that's when you can't trust them. When when they need you, now all of a sudden you can trust them because they're going to try and do their best to be the right kind of person for you. So
Yeah.
I think it's really got to be about building trust. And it brings up one other point I want to make is we do these shows and we all pretty much agree with each other, and our listeners pretty much agree with what we have to say, or so I think. But I would actually like to do some shows with people that have counter thoughts to what we think. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would like to see if there's any logic, if there's like me personally, I think there's no activity in the brain if you're counter what we're talking about, because I think it's all basic common sense. But I would like to have some people on the show, some guests, some people on the show
Sure.
that think counter, because maybe they could open up some doors and be like, hey, I didn't really understand that, And so I think that maybe that's somewhere where we need to go in the near future.
I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Sal, we can start with Josh, your buddy.
He's more than welcome to come in and tell me his thoughts on policies and stuff. I
Okay.
will be very
Well, maybe
respectful.
what we'll do is maybe we can maybe we'll reach out to him and invite him and see if he wants to come on the show. He said more than once that he wants to, so maybe we'll
That's
have
fine.
a drop down, drag out, or maybe we'll just have some good spirited debates. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, wherever it goes, it goes.
Conversation.
Wherever
Yeah.
it goes, it goes. But I was telling Sal, he's like, well, why don't you invite some people? I said, I don't know anybody that thinks like that.
That's the problem with me too. I don't know many people that are.
I don't think
I
I
know-
know.
Plenty of them because they light up when I post shit on Facebook.
Yeah,
It's
when
hysterical.
you
It's
do.
fucking hysterical.
Don't worry, Marcus. I'll put something out there and have you share it, and then we'll get something.
I love everybody, love all.
You
three
know.
of all. It's the whole thing. But Rick shares this thing. Trump is playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers, and that is so true.
That's
so
a good
very
one.
True.
Yeah,
good one, Rick.
yeah,
Yeah.
spot on, dude. I agree
I
with you.
like what Don said about the trust you guys were talking about, because I think when we were talking about the other shows, MSNBC with Morning Joe going to see Trump, now we have Zuckerberg.
Yep.
You're talking about trust from the media. Now we were talking about trust from social media now with Zuckerberg. But Pew just released their latest poll, and they had said that 3/4 of the public do not trust the media. They think they're biased. So things are turning around. People are starting to see it. And I think this media bias is spilling over into social media as well.
Yep.
People, it ruined their credibility, which is something we talked about many shows before,
Yep.
that they figured out they were lied to. Just like the pollsters for Kamala came out now and said, yeah, we lied about our numbers, And I know Kamala's still trying to raise money, and I know Don knows this firsthand, because they're still trying to push this agenda that there might be a recount, that we could still take control of something. So she needs more money.
Right.
What she really needs is to bail out her $20 million. But
right. She needs a lobotomy. Actually, I think that one.
Don
might
gets
help.
bothered, I think, every day.
I'm gonna because I did a bunch of donations to Trump. Don't ask me how, but I got on some of these emails and texts from the Democratic Party. This is one I got on I think it was 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, and it said, we have 8 hours to pass the No Kings Act.
Yeah.
If we succeed, Trump's done. Rush $10 and we'll 300% match it. And then it's go.stoptrump.io with a bunch of numbers. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like this No Kings Act. I looked into it, and anyways, it's a bunch of shit. But Sal had pointed it out. He's like, she's still 20 mil in the hole,
Yeah,
because she
trying to-
blew all those donations. Those political-
1.5 billion
No,
she blew,
no.
and like
It's over 2 billion.
now it's 2
2.2
billion.
billion with-
I did not hear that.
That's
Super-
blowing a lot.
When you went with the super PAC money and everything, it's over $2 billion.
And how many days? Like 100 and some odd, 157 days?
Correct.
She
Wow.
blew over $2 billion. Why doesn't she call her good friend Bruce or Lady Gaga or
Yeah.
Beyonce and say, hey, can you help a girl out here?
Right. Exactly.
But I'm
Any-
sure they will not be helping her out. They
I
just
mean,
wanted her
what was
money.
it, 10 million she paid to Beyonce for her 5-minute speech.
Yeah. a
Anybody that can blow $2 billion in 157 days is doing a lot of blowing.
Well, I heard that she spent almost $1 million to put her face on was it in Las
The
Vegas?
ads.
Was it
Oh,
on it was in Lights or whatever somewhere on the strip. I forget where it
oh,
was
was
at,
it
but
on the? Wait, it was on the Sphere,
the
wasn't it? They had
Stratosphere.
something on
Yes,
the
yes,
Sphere.
Did they
yes.
put
The
it on
Sphere.
there?
Yeah,
On the Sphere, they
yeah. It
had
was like
her.
$850,000 to do that.
Well, I know that James Carville, he's a big Dem. He's calling for a audit on her campaign,
Yes.
and that's someone on her side of the aisle.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah, they
there's a
are.
lot of Dems that are ticked off
They're
because
pissed.
they know, and now the rumors being floated that AOC might be running in 28, which I
Oh
think is
God.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
this is great.
Will railroad her. I mean, I'm telling you, if we can accomplish even a quarter of what Trump has put out there, and I think we're going to accomplish a whole hell of a lot more than that. We're entering the golden age like we had in the 80s, man. We're going to have a golden age. I see 12 to possibly 20 years of prosperity and golden age of Nova. Because you think about this, you get Trump in there, and then you get JD Vance for 2 years, and then maybe possibly a Tulsi Gabbard, and we get our really truly get our very first woman president, or possibly a Vivek, or they got the legs, they got the time to do that. So
Well, especially if they're going to put up AOC or Kamala. I mean, think
Oh
how
my
great
God.
the world would be if we had a bartender become president.
Yes,
Wouldn't that be
exactly.
great?
A stripper and a bartender, yeah.
Hey man, but we should pour a good cocktail. Cheers, everybody. So let's shift gears here real quick, because one of the things that we want to start doing is bringing back. I mean, when we originally started this show, we weren't planning on being political. In fact, we actually had many conversations, Don and I, that we didn't want to be political. We wanted to be more focused on betterment, on being able to better our lives, better our listeners' lives, better lives of people that we come into contact with and touch, and listeners and everyone else. And so I want to bring back the betterment segment. And I think let's start it out. I'm not sure what this is going to look like. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit on the text thread here before the show, but let's start with this. What is one or two things that you're doing today to better yourself? And I'll start it off with, because I know I'm putting you guys on the spot here a little bit. For myself, one of the things that I've been doing this probably since, I'm going to say February, March, and I think I've spoken about it a couple of times, is that every morning before I actually open up my eyes and start my day off, is I go into kind of a meditative state. And I learned this actually from the Mind Valley guys. I don't know if you know about Mind Valley. I'm going to see if I can get them as a sponsor.
Mhm.
And I love it because not only is he transforming all kinds of programs to help people in all aspects of life, but one of the things it says that when you're in that first 5 minutes of waking up, you're in like a theta state of mind where you're very creative, and you're really connected to source and the universe and so forth. And so I do this, and I'm telling you, I have been manifesting some amazing shit in my life. And I focus on the things that I want to do in my life, and the people I care about's lives, for this podcast, for my business, for my health, all these kinds of things people I care about. And it's truly amazing what can accomplish. So that's one thing that I'm doing. And the second thing I'm doing is I'm doing something that's called rebounding. So rebounding, if you don't know what that is, it's like a small little trampoline, probably about 36 inches wide, that you bounce on. And you'd be like, well, why are you going to bounce on a trampoline? Well, the lymphatic system in the body is one of the only systems that doesn't have its own pump. And the only way the lymphatic system moves and circulates in the body is through movement. And when you bounce on just lightly bounce on a trampoline, you are now activating the pumping system in the lymphatic system, which is basically helps to clean out all the crap that's in your body. And so by doing that on multiple times a day, I'm helping to keep my body as healthy as I possibly can be. So those are my two betterment things. And maybe we'll share this more and more. And if you're listening here, I would love for you to share some of the things that you're doing to better your lives. If you want to leave in the comments, but who wants to go next? Sal?
I think, well, I play a little game every morning when I wake up. Before I get out of bed, I always play a game to see if I could pick what's going to hurt this morning. But other than that, I think, that's a game I play constantly. I'll probably play a game before I get up off this chair. But the other thing that I try to think is I try to stay informed, and I think that's important. Now, I get your health side of that. Yes, I'm into inversion and all that, so that kind of helps. But I think for me, one of the main things is to stay informed, especially in this day and age, and
Yeah.
especially what's going on today. So my main focus every morning, I think, is to stay informed and try to keep up with what's going on. So that's just my input.
That's
So,
awesome. Awesome. Missy just shared her love manifestation. Absolutely. Manifesting is amazing. When you people realize the power of your mind, and you know, I'm gonna go get this quote that I have on my wall here in a second. But Don, go ahead and share what are you doing for betterment?
Yeah,
well,
Don.
what I do
Thank you for
is
sharing, Sal.
is um, everything that I do, doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's eating, if it's sleeping, if it's exercising, if I'm praying, doesn't matter. I always, before I do that action, I always think, how could I do it better? How could I do something just a little bit better? What can I dial in to make it a little bit better? Okay. Same thing when I get on the ice. Same thing when I'm talking to guys about what we're going to be learning and working on. You know, I try to figure out just a little bit how I can make every single action that I do during the day a little bit better. If I'm reading something, maybe I look at it and say, do I need to be reading this? Maybe I need to be reading different content. Okay. Um, so it's not just time management, but it's making the best with the time that you spend on doing everything. And I'll give you a perfect example. So like when I go to the health club, when I'm done with my workout
Mhm.
and I go into the sauna, my new thing is I got one of those massagers that's got like the thing that goes back and forth real good. And I bring that thing into the sauna. So I'm like, all right, you're in the sauna, you're detoxifying your body. Okay.
Yep.
I take that thing in there and I'll work on every single muscle, every single tendon in my entire body while I'm in there. Okay.
Nice.
When I get out, I feel like $1,000,000. Okay. So that's just an example of it. But every single movement, every single thought that I make, I think, how could I do it a little bit better? How could I be a little bit more productive? How could I make today better than yesterday? And how can I make tomorrow better than today? So that's really my thoughts. I know it's very generic, but that's really, there's so many things that I work on that I wouldn't know where to start, but try to make everything a little bit better. Like for instance, sounds crazy. Let's say you're walking across a parking lot, right? Okay. And the walkway goes straight up and then you go right. And you're like, well, wait a minute. If I go on a diagonal, I know it sounds completely crazy. If I go on a diagonal, I'm going to save about 40% of my steps. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you get to where you're going, your destination, with 40% less energy. Okay. And so really, what did you do? You have more energy for the things that you actually want to do. So it's completely in your thinking. Just always try and figure out how to make something a little bit better. And at the end of the day, all those little bitty wins wind up being one giant win.
Absolutely. You think about it. If you can better yourself 1% a day, at the end of the year, that compounds to 365%. So it just takes a little bit of effort. So we're gonna close up here because we've
Yep.
been going for over an hour here. But I want to read this to you,
Wow.
and this is on my wall, and I'll go pull it off here in a second. But it was written. It was actually written by Marianne Williamson, but it was made famous by Nelson Mandela in 1994 in his speech. It says this: "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
So I completely agree with that. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, I just was over. I saw Dr. Steve, and I was talking to him about this, and we are all okay spiritual beings. I'm going to make this quick. I'm not going to go off on tangent.
Yep.
We're all spiritual beings, but we've been created by our Creator. Okay, we're as much our Creator, okay, as we allow Him, because we're basically conduit of our Creator into us.
Right.
So we're
Yep.
capable of everything that He's capable if we trust. Okay, so the bottom line is, but a lot of people that believe in a lot of these different religions, whatever it may be, they say it's not you, okay, it's God or it's Jesus Christ. It's not you, and by you doing this, so really, what a lot of these people are doing, the reason why they're limited in their capabilities, is because they're invalidating themselves. Because you are capable of everything that you allow yourself to be capable of, but it's really not you doing it. It's you allowing the Creator to use you as a conduit to create your abilities to do anything that you want to do. So the minute you invalidate yourself and you take yourself out of the equation and you say it's someone else, now you're being the effect, you're not being the cause. So it's really, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but
No, absolutely it does. We're made in the image and the likeness.
yes,
You know,
yes.
it's almost like we're droplets of water, part of the ocean. The ocean is the universe. The ocean is God, or whatever you want to call it. And where does the wave begin and the ocean and the ocean end? You know, it's like where it's all at. So Dustin says this is awesome. Rick says I've started making my relationship with God closer by reading the Daily Bread message every day for 3 minutes long. So I love this. This is great.
Yes,
People are
yes.
doing stuff. It's awesome. It's all about betterment. It's all about making a difference in people's lives. It's all about, you know, going out there and live your life with joy. That's the one thing I learned when I almost died 2.5 years ago. The one thing that I got out of it was that I am not going to do, life's too short. I'm not going to do anything that doesn't bring me joy. You know, that doesn't fulfill my soul. That doesn't allow me to, you know, I go aim to faint. I mean, my day's not even ended. I'm going strong, a meeting after this and that podcast. I got a board meeting here in about 14 minutes. You know,
Bring a
it's like,
flag.
yeah, exactly. You know, so it's like one of those things where it's like, but you know what though?
Rainbow.
A rainbow flag.
Oh, they'll welcome you in with open arms.
What? What are you talking about?
No, we're
bring a
messing.
rainbow.
Finish your thought. Finish
yeah.
your thought.
So
Sorry.
you know, it's really about it's about, yeah, okay. I see where you were going with that. Sorry, I was on a roll here, but it's about doing the things that make you feel good, make a difference in your life and the lives of others. And when you come from that place, you're filled with joy, you're filled with peace, you're filled with harmony and thankfulness and gratefulness, and you're able to do so much more because the conduit, like you were talking about, is clear. The conduit is clear. It's not jumbled with all the negativity and all the bullshit that the world throws at you. That's why this podcast is called Straight Up No Bullshit. We're living our lives with straight up no bullshit.
Right. And quit making your life about you. Make your life about others, about making others better. And guess what? Your life will get dramatically better.
It will. It will.
Yes.
So any last words, Sal?
Well, reading a list that was sent to me, kind of on the humorous side, saying that, you know, making a Christmas list for 2024 is, you know, on the list is wine, a lifetime supply of cheese, stuff like that.
Right.
No wrinkles. So, I mean, I agree with you guys. I get all that stuff. I'm not that spiritual, honestly.
It's all right.
I'm more into science, but I respect what you guys are saying. I believe what you guys are saying. That's the most important thing. But yeah, I think we could probably do a whole show on this topic, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Like take up
we will.
a whole hour talking about this, because it seems to be that we're getting a lot of positive response in the chats, and I'm getting some text and stuff. So
Hey,
I think we should set a time to do a whole show on this.
Absolutely.
Sal,
Yes.
Since you're a science guy, I am too. Look into quantum physics. There's a book that written says I am the universe, and it was written by Deepak Chopra, who's very spiritual, as well as a very well-known quantum physicist. And I'm telling you, I got to listen to it because when I read the book, my eyes go back to my head. I mean, it is pretty deep, but when you start listening to it, it's profound, and you'll realize that it's all part of the same thing.
So it's
It's pretty
quantum
amazing.
physics. Is that what it
Quantum
is?
physics,
Quantum.
yes, quantum physics.
See, I'm in astrophysics actually.
Yeah,
With Neil
quantum
deGrasse
physics
Tyson.
has
Yeah.
there's studies that if you like that, I'll leave it with this. There's a Greg Braden, and Don, if you mentioned Greg Braden, Steve knows him very well. Greg Braden was a computer scientist, and he decided to start studying the universe and studying spirituality and ancient texts and so forth. And there's a couple of books that I think will blow your mind because of the things that they prove in science, especially quantum physics, that bridges the gap between spirituality and reality. And
Yeah.
I think you'll find it fascinating because I know you're an inquisitive guy like I am. You're always searching for the truth and the answers, and I think you're going to listen to this stuff and you're like, holy shit, this is pretty wild. So
Well, I think
anyway,
I have
that's
I have an interesting take on religion, and I've had, I don't want to say debates because I have a lot of people that I know that are very religious,
sure.
but I just have a little difference of opinion, little bit, not a lot. I
Sure.
believe in God. Don't get me wrong.
There's nothing wrong with
But-
that. There's nothing wrong with that difference of opinion. We can, and you know what? You're right. We probably shouldn't start this conversation right now because we got to wrap this up. However,
Yeah.
we'll table this for another conversation.
Yes.
And I think I
Great.
think I think our audiences will love it because I do have a very different take on it as well, and I think all three of us have a very
Mhm.
different perspective on it, which
Mhm.
is great. I want to
Yeah.
say I want to thank all of our people, listeners right now. We've got the highest audience live that we've ever had before.
Great.
Thank
Most of them
you.
are on YouTube right now. We've
Thank
got
you,
one
everyone.
you.
on Twitch. I'm not
Hit
sure why
subscribe.
I'm not sure why people are on Rumble. I hope the Rumble feed worked. We'll have to double check on that. But anyway, if you like what you heard here today, please subscribe to our channels. We're trying to desperately to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, so we can go live on TikTok as well, because I think that will
Yes.
blow things up in a big way, and we can reach an audience that isn't even on our radar screen right now. But please find us on TikTok, like and subscribe to Straight Up No Bullshit there. Find us on Rumble, find us on YouTube. The more comments, the better it does. Missy puts a smiley face here. I'll share this on here. Thank you, Missy, for listening in. For some reason it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. Share emojis. There it is. So thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe, but more importantly, share this with somebody you care about. Share this with somebody that you love, that your friends, neighbors, coworkers, family, and help us spread the word because we really want to make a difference. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Straight Up No Bullshit, living straight up no bullshit is about making a difference in our lives, in your lives, and all the lives of people around us. It's what America. It's just what this is all about: making America great again, healthy again. It's all about the same thing. And until next time, we'll see you on Straight Up No Bullshit. Cheers,
Take
everyone.
care.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching.
All right.